We're focusing on distribution of our data sets, whether it's linking it through Snowflake and having people get direct access to that, or enhancing how we can distribute that and put more data sets on the cloud. We'll be focusing on our index business and all of our partnerships that we have with MSCI and S&P. Cboe One Options, we've been working with the regulators to be able to get that approved, and we think that would be an awesome opportunity for the retail investor to have something very simplistic that they could be able to leverage for their client base.
How has your background shaped your approach in your new role as head of data and access solutions?
Prior to joining Cboe, I was managing director, co-head of electronic trading products at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. So we dealt a lot with a buy side as well as a sell side. And one of the things that's really interesting is every time they're looking at performance, especially in the electronic trading space, it's primarily driven based on empirical evidence, right? So if they're seeing good performance, then they'll reward you by using your products more. And then I've been with Cboe for the last 4.5 years. So basically for the first 4 years, I was head of North American equities. And one of the things that I learned right away is the amount of data requests we get from clients. So whether we want traders to use our products and services more, it's really important to put empirical evidence in front of them so they can use that as an opportunity to say, I want to try a new order type. I want to use it for regression testing, building a new strategy. So data is really important. And one of the groups that we created in North American equities was execution consulting. So we brought a lot of people in from the sell side that have that prior experience dealing with the buy side and the sell side. And so now we're going to be able to use that in data and access services to be able to get in front of clients and talk to them about everything that we have available. And not only just for them to purchase more services from us, but also how they can learn about using all of our products across the overall firm, especially across asset.
Explain to me the breadth of services that Cboe is offering these days.
It goes beyond just our traditional exchange member services. Basically, we have 3 verticals. We have our Cboe global indices. So a lot of times we'll create a new benchmark or an index, and then we work with passive funds where they can create an ETF off of that. Or we'll work with structured product desks, particularly on the bank side where they need to be able to create a new index. And we leverage our derivatives experience to build those products for them. And then you have the other side, which is our risk market analytics. That is Silex, which is used, for example, to trade flex options. We have Live Vol, which is used for obvious error or other means for the sell side and others. And then we have Data Shop. And look at that as like an Amazon storefront where people can go in there and purchase various data sets. And we'll look to be able to distribute that globally and ease of use for that. And then we have other things like Handwick, which is our theoretical pricing for options. And then we also have other services like Trade Alert, which gives people an understanding of the derivatives market and how it's operating and functioning. And then we have FT, which is very similar, which allows for portfolio optimization. And then we have our traditional exchange side of things beyond just a pitch and depth book, but we have things like Cboe One equities. And recently we've been trying to work with the regulators to get Cboe One options approved. So again, 3 verticals. You have Cboe Global Indices, we have our risk market analytical products and services, and then we have our traditional exchange side of things.
What are some of the key learnings from your initial months on the job?
It's been very seamless. Obviously, we have a great team that we're able to work with, and there's a lot of cross-collaboration, especially with a lot of the changes that Dave and Fred have brought in. It's been really seamless from that perspective. For me, it's great to be able to learn about different asset classes, and it's also great to think about global scale of our business. And if you've heard that pretty loud and clear for us over the last several years, is just building our global transaction network. And, we're in 7 of the 10 largest economies, and it's really great just to learn from our clients in each one of those regions and then figure out how we can continue to diversify our portfolio of non-transactional products and be able to bring those to market.
How important is non-transactional income to Cboe these days?
For the DNA business or the non-transactional business, we're forecasting 7 to 10% growth. So it's a really important area for us to continue focusing on. And so we'll look at ways where we can continue to diversify, look at new geographies, bring new data globally, and then also listen to our clients and figure out if there are other things that we need to be able to bring to market. But I think it's global expansion, enhancing the user experience, and then bringing data from a global perspective and ease of use so we can continue to hit that 7 to 10% target that we portray publicly.
How does data and access solutions work with other Cboe business lines to provide solutions to clients?
One of the greatest strengths that we have at Cboe is our people. All of our sales will look at it from a global perspective. Different asset classes will help facilitate that sale, especially like on the derivative side. If you're working, say, with a systematic or a quant fund, they may be looking for our open and close data set that we've recently put out there for options. Not only do we have an end of day, but we also have it where it's available on 10-minute intervals. So it's very important for us to leverage our sales force across all of our asset classes. And similarly, even on the equity side, we have a lot of folks where we'll be looking, say, can we bring a top of book feed to be able to, for their retail component, and be able to bring that into their spectrum as well. So all of our salespeople are really important for us to foster growth.
What have been the biggest areas of growth for your business? And what areas do you think are untapped?
One area that's really untapped, I'll answer that part first, is really being able to distribute our data globally, right? And I think the way it's really important to look at it from this perspective, as we continue to access other markets, say Asia Pacific, not everybody's going to have connectivity in, say, LD4, which is in London. Not everyone's going to have connectivity in Chicago or TR2 in Toronto or in Secaucus in New Jersey. And so data is an easy way for us to distribute that via the cloud. The other way to think about it too is also, what's been really important, is just building up different areas of growth. Flex options, we continue to see growth. Silex is a perfect opportunity for us to harness that and work with our customers to customize that, obviously consistent with rules and regulations of the exchange. And so that's been an important part. And then even on the indices side, we've seen continued growth in defined outcome. And so leveraging covered call indices have been really important for us to harness additional growth. Data, distribution via the cloud, making it very easy and seamless for them to access that. And then looking at various market dynamics. Silex is a perfect example with flex options. And then obviously we've seen buffered protected defined outcome ETFs become a large contributor of our market, and that's where our index business comes into play.
With the rise of zero DTE options, have there been any requests for specific types of data?
Two areas are, one in our data sets, open and closed data sets. So when you're initiating a position or closing out a position, so not only do we have our end of day file or historical data, we have the ability for people to get that at 10-minute intervals. So we're actually hearing from our clients, they would like that interval to be even shorter. So that's something that we'll continue to focus on. And then the other one is also around our handwick or our theoretical pricing. More people are looking for that information as strategies get developed, but it also makes the retail platform stronger, right? So if you're able to have theoretical pricing on there, it allows them to cater to a wider group of retail customers, and that's something where we continue to see a lot of demand for.